Chapter 1. Your girlfriend and my boyfriend got a hotel room. Do you want to get a room with me and get back at them? My girlfriend's best friend, Chloe, came to my shop and showed me a hotel key card. I was taking inventory and was stunned. What? I'm saying. Mia and Jack are together. Don't you want revenge? Chloe saw my stunned expression and anxiously repeated herself. This was a lot to take in, and I was speechless for a moment. Mia cheated with Jack. Get revenge the same way. My wife, as she put it, was actually my girlfriend, Mia. We met a little over a year ago through a mutual friend. I thought she was beautiful and had a nice personality, so we started dating. Chloe's boyfriend, Jack, whom she met on a blind date last month, works at a bank and is quite handsome. They'd even come to my place for dinner a few times. I looked at the date and said, tomorrow is April Fool's Day. Last April Fool's Day, Mia used Chloe to test me to see if I would be tempted to cheat with her best friend. I didn't expect her to try something new this year. I'm serious. I have proof they cheated. Chloe saw my disbelief and immediately started digging for her phone in her bag, looking serious. You didn't just ask Jack to hold Mia and then take a few pictures to mess with me, did you? I chuckled and continued with my inventory, dismissing her. My relationship with Mia was great. We had just moved in together a little over a month ago. See for yourself. Chloe shoved her phone in front of me. I glanced at it absent-mindedly while taking inventory, and my mind exploded. It was surveillance footage from a hotel corridor. Although it was a bit blurry, it was clearly them. They were passionately kissing as they walked down the hallway, practically with their tongues down each other's throats. The video ended when they entered a room. The timestamp showed 3 days ago at 10 p.m. That night, I wasn't home. I was out drinking and singing karaoke with a client until 2 a.m. This couldn't be an April Fool's joke. I was instantly filled with rage and humiliation. I have other evidence, Chloe added. Show me, I said, trying to suppress my anger. But Chloe said, go to the hotel, then I'll show you. I looked at Chloe. A strong urge for revenge welled up inside me. Jack slept with my girlfriend. What was wrong with me sleeping with his girlfriend to get even? And honestly, Chloe was even more beautiful than Mia, with a better figure. Chloe was tall and slender, while Mia was petite and cute. And Chloe wasn't as clingy and coquettish as Mia. She had a cold, strong, dominant personality, always with a competitive spirit. The first time Mia took me to meet Chloe, I was stunned by her beauty. Men, they all love beautiful women, whether they have girlfriends or wives is irrelevant, but it was only appreciation. After all, I had a girlfriend and our relationship was good. There are so many beautiful things in the world that don't belong to you. Being able to appreciate them is a blessing in itself. Don't think too much about anything else. Thinking back to the intoxicated look on Mia's face in the video, I felt more disgusted than angry. I quickly regained my composure. Chloe, don't be impulsive. Actually, Chloe didn't need to show me any more evidence. The video was enough. Chloe looked at me with annoyance. They got a room, and not just once, and you're telling me not to be impulsive. She pushed the key card into my hand again. This is a one-time offer. It's up to you. Chapter 2. After Chloe left my shop, I immediately picked up my phone, wanted to call Mia. Was I not good enough to her, or did I not satisfy her materially or physically? But I never dialed the number. Mia's infidelity was already an established fact. From the moment I saw the video, it was destined to be over between us. But I couldn't just let it go. I wanted revenge. If I felt disgusted, I definitely wouldn't let them off easy. Thinking of this, I glanced at the room key card in my hand and pulled down the shop's security gate. Honestly, who wouldn't have fantasized about conquering a woman like Chloe? Now the opportunity was right in front of me. It was for revenge. They were in the wrong. I had reason and justification. Initially, I went over there excitedly, my mind full of thoughts of revenge and venting. But the moment I opened the door, I abandoned the idea. If I really slept with Chloe, what would be the difference between us and them? What are you doing standing at the door? Come in. Just as I was debating whether to leave, Chloe called from inside the room. I hesitated, but went in anyway. I thought I should talk to Chloe face to face. I originally thought that by the time I arrived, Chloe would have already showered and be waiting for me in bed. But when I walked in, I found her sitting at the desk by the window smoking. It was the first time I'd seen her smoke. Her hair was indeed wet from a shower, but she was fully dressed, and her stunning face, no longer filled with anger, had regained its composure. I said to her, I've thought about it. We can't do this. Chloe glanced at me. What? Are you angry? Don't you want revenge? I nodded. I'm angry and I want revenge, but we're not like them. Chloe took a drag of her cigarette and stared at me for a long time without speaking. Finally, she pulled out a cigarette and tossed it to me. After I lit it, she said, I was impulsive earlier. After all, Jack and I have only been together for a month. We haven't even held hands many times. At worst, we just break up. There's nothing more to it. I'm just angry at Mia. If she wanted to cheat, why did she have to choose my boyfriend? I was so good to her, treated her like a younger sister, and I feel bad for you. You were so good to her. I took a drag on my cigarette and gave a bitter laugh. Maybe the kind of good I offered wasn't what she wanted. Chloe looked at me, a flicker of sympathy crossing her face, but it quickly vanished. So what are you going to do? Go back and confront her? I shook my head. I haven't decided yet. By the way, didn't you say you had other evidence? Chloe then extinguished her cigarette, took out her phone, and sent me a message. Besides the surveillance video from earlier, there was also a forwarded chat log. I opened it and instantly felt my blood rush to my head. Sweetie, baby, I just left the hotel and I miss you already. Jack's addiction. Little Vixen, weren't you satisfied just now, sweetie? You're so bad, I just genuinely miss you. Jack's addiction. Hotel rooms are getting boring. When can we go to your place? That would be fun. I'll message you when he's not home. Sweetie, and Jack's addiction were Mia and Jack's WeChat names, and the profile pictures matched. This message was sent shortly after the time they were in the hotel room in the surveillance video. The earlier chat logs were even more explicit, even including selfies that Mia had taken while showering. I took a harsh drag of my cigarette, feeling almost too disgusted to continue reading. I scrolled all the way to the top, wanting to see when they had started. Before I could reach the beginning, Chloe said, "It was a week after I first brought Jack to dinner with you guys. Mia was the one who initiated it with Jack, but he didn't refuse. Just now I was actually thinking, even if she cheated, was it because the way I treated her wasn't what you wanted?" At this moment I subconsciously looked at Chloe, and the desire for revenge filled my heart once more. I immediately stubbed out my cigarette and walked towards her. Chapter 3. Chloe was instantly startled by me and subconsciously stood up. Ryan, I looked at Chloe, panting heavily. "Didn't you ask me to come?" Chloe was instantly startled by me and subconsciously stood up. Ryan, I looked at Chloe, panting heavily. "Didn't you ask me to come?" Chloe panicked and said, "I was just momentarily blinded by anger." Ryan, don't be impulsive. You've always been calm, and you just said, if we do this, what's the difference between us and them? Seeing the panic on Chloe's face and the fear in her eyes, I instantly regained my senses. Yes, what am I doing? No matter how I retaliate against Mia and Jack, it won't be excessive. But Chloe is innocent. I can't hurt Chloe just because I can't take it. Thinking of this, I immediately calmed down again and quickly said to Chloe, "I'm sorry." Chloe then breathed a long sigh of relief and instead comforted me. "It's okay, I understand. I know you, like me, were just momentarily overwhelmed." Hearing Chloe say this, I nodded to her. "Chloe, thank you." Chloe smiled at me. "It's nothing. No matter what they are like, we will always be friends." I hummed in agreement, left the room cart, and left the hotel without saying anything more. Chloe seemed to be in a daze when she heard me close the door, and only after a long while did she let out a long sigh of relief. I returned home, and as soon as I opened the door, I saw Mia wearing an apron, busy in the kitchen humming a little tune. Seeing her virtuous appearance, I really couldn't connect her with those videos and chat records. "Oh, you're back. I was just about to call you. I said your favorite turtle soup." Mia blinked at me when she saw me come back. I didn't say anything, sat down at the dining table and looked at the table full of dishes that I loved to eat and that big bowl of soup. I felt like I was being stewed by Mia in the bowl. Seeing that I was in a bad mood, Mia served rice and came over, asking me with concern, "Honey, what's wrong?" I took a deep breath and said, "It's nothing. Just business matters," Mia said with a distressed face. "Honey, I said long ago, you don't need to work so hard. If we earn more, we spend more. If we earn less, we spend less. You know me, I don't care about having more or less money as long as I'm with you." If she had said this before, I would have been satisfied and held her and tightly grateful that I had such a considerate girlfriend. But today I showed no reaction. Mia didn't say much and immediately picked up an empty bowl and served me a large bowl of soup. Not only did I drink it, but I also ate all the contents in the pot. Seeing this, Mia smiled mischievously at me. "Eating so much, what do you want to do? Do it." I immediately put down my chopsticks and bowl and dragged her into the room for a test drive. Since I decided not to buy it before returning it, why not use it hard? The next morning when Mia woke up, I had already packed my suitcase. Mia opened her sleepy eyes, looking at me sitting expressionlessly on the sofa. She was still surprised. "Honey, so early, what's the suitcase for? Are you going on a business trip?" But I didn't say anything and directly forwarded that surveillance video to her. After she watched it, her face changed drastically. Honey, this video must be AI generated. This is really not me. Chapter 4. I sneered and sent her the chat logs. Mia's eyes glazed over as soon as she saw the messages. I saw a mixture of complex emotions flit across her face. Suddenly she grabbed my arm. Husband, let me explain, it's not what you think. I lit a cigarette and watched her performance with amusement. Oh, Mia hurriedly said. Jack works at the bank. You wanted him to help you with the loan, so. I took a harsh drag of my cigarette. So you went to bed with him? Mia shook her head vigorously. No, it was him he seduced. No, he threatened me. I was forced. I shrugged slightly. He threatened you to send him naked pictures in the shower. He threatened you to book a room and wait for him. He threatened you to call him husband in every message. Mia froze. She had only glanced at the chat logs. Now, hearing me say these things, she knew I had read all their messages. Seeing her frozen in place and able to continue her act, I got up, grabbed my suitcase, and opened the door. Mia hugged me from behind. Husband, I was wrong. It's mainly because you're so busy and I'm so bored. Don't go, okay? I promise I won't contact him again. I threw the suitcase out the door and pried her hands off me. Who said I was leaving? This is my house. Why should I leave? Mia froze again. I pushed her out the door and slammed it shut. Mia finally reacted and started knocking on the door. Husband. I ignored her and locked the door. Driving last night used up a lot of gas and I didn't sleep well. I needed to recharge. I woke up almost noon. I checked the time on my phone and found several messages. Most were from Mia. Husband, I know. I was wrong. Don't be angry. I know you still love me. Husband, let's start over. Just forgive me this time. Husband, let's get married. Let's get the certificate today. I couldn't bother reading anymore. What was she thinking, still wanting to get married? Did she really think my head was a grassland? I didn't reply, blocking her number and WeChat account. I saw messages from Chloe on my phone, also containing chat logs between Mia and Jack. I opened them and saw they were from that morning. _sweetie. Ryan knows about us. He has the video of us in the hotel corridor in the chat logs. __ Jack. What? How does Chloe know? __ sweetie. How would I know? He came back last night acting normal, wore me out all night, and then this happened today. Jack, let's talk when I get off work tonight. I am at work now. You book a room and wait for me. The timestamps on their messages were clearly earlier than Mia's pleas for forgiveness. I sneered, and she still wanted my forgiveness and wanted to marry me. But then I realized something. How did Chloe get the chat log so quickly, especially when Jack said he was at work? Thinking about this, I immediately called Chloe. I asked directly, did you install software on Jack's phone? Chloe didn't deny it. Yes, I've suspected he was cheating on me, but I didn't expect it to be with Mia. Chapter 5. I asked Chloe. Mia and I have completely broken up. What are you going to do? Chloe sneered. What am I going to do? Nothing. Jack has a lot going on. I only sent you the stuff about him and Mia, and I don't care about his other affairs. After all, we just started dating. There's no emotional foundation. I just hate him for poaching, and I hate me for doing this to me, although Jack is no saint either. I checked the time. Let's have lunch together. Give me all the information you have. Chloe asked. Are you going after Jack? I sneered. Shouldn't I? Don't tell me you're reluctant. Chloe immediately scoffed. No way. Okay, see you at lunch. After hanging up, I changed my clothes, went to the master bedroom, stripped the bed and threw everything on the floor. Then I gathered all of Mia's remaining belongings, packed them in the bedding, and took them downstairs to the dumpster. Before leaving, I changed the password on the smart lock and deleted her fingerprint. As I went to my car, I heard a voice. Husband, you finally came out. I knew it was Mia just by her voice. She had actually been waiting for me in the garage. I got in the car without looking back and immediately locked the doors. Sure enough, she saw me get in and started pulling on the car door. I didn't even glance at her and drove straight out of the garage. Just before I exited, I vaguely heard Mia yell, "Ryan, you bastard." I turned on the stereo, put on some soft music, and completely relaxed. It's just like test driving a car. You elect only to find it has a lot of problems and leaks oil, so you decide not to buy it. What's there to regret? It's the person who tries to steal the driver's seat during your test drive that's unforgivable. Soon I arrived at the restaurant where I was meeting Chloe. She had arrived earlier and had already ordered me a coffee. She was dressed differently than yesterday, looking even more elegant. After I sat down opposite her, she looked at me and said, "Not bad, not too haggard." I thought to myself, thankfully I ate that whole soup last night, otherwise driving all night might have taken a toll. I said to Chloe, "You also look better than I expected." Chloe shrugged. "I told you several times, Jack, and I just started dating. Our relationship wasn't strong. I don't care that we broke up, but you and Mia have been together for over a year. I took a sip of coffee. It was my favorite flavor. I couldn't help but look at Chloe. How did you know I don't take sugar or milk? Chloe shrugged. We've eaten together before, haven't we? I saw it a few times. I nodded and then asked, what other issues are there with Jack? Chloe didn't speak but took out her phone and started forwarding messages to me. Just reading the first one shattered my worldview. The other person was a rich woman nearing 50. Jack, to win her favor and get her help with his deposit business, called her little sister repeatedly, and from the chat logs it was clear they had slept together. There were more messages like this, many with older women of means. Occasionally there were some younger ones, but not very attractive, whom Jack also called dear. I got goosebumps all over. Is this Jack a bank employee or a KTV host? Chloe then said. This is nothing, keep reading. Chapter 6. I continued scrolling through Jack's chat logs. One conversation caught my attention. He was tricking a rich young woman into buying their financial products. He promised her the moon, boasting about enormous returns and how much better it was than a fixed deposit. But he never mentioned a single word about the risks. Isn't this technically fraud? I muttered. Chloe nodded. Definitely, and he's not the only one, but that's not even the worst part. I frowned at her. What could be worse? Her expression flickered, clearly trying to control her emotions. After taking a sip of coffee, she said, my mom's best friend, Mrs. Higgins, introduced Jack and me. My heart skipped a beat, sensing what was coming. Sure enough, she continued, Mrs. Higgins is one of Jack's clients, and she's been tricked into buying a lot of these products. Their chat logs are disgusting. I wanted to see them, but Chloe said, I didn't send you Mrs. Higgins's, so don't look. Send them to me, I insisted. She blushed slightly. Why do you want to see that disgusting stuff? To deal with Jack, your Mrs. Higgins might be the perfect person to turn, I explained. Chloe seemed to understand, but she still didn't send me the logs. Instead, she opened her phone and found the conversation. I won't send this, just come and look. Hearing this, I knew the messages must contain something private about Chloe that Jack and Mrs. Higgins had discussed, and she understandably didn't want me to see it. I took my coffee and sat beside her. She nervously scrolled through the messages, flipping through them quickly. But I caught one message. Spring has sprung, ha, little Jack, you're no good, a whole month and you still haven't gotten that girl yet. Addicted to Jack. I don't know if she has a problem. She can't even hold hands for more than a minute, forget about kissing. Chloe saw it too, quickly scrolling past, a faint blush creeping onto her cheeks. I said, looks like your Mrs. Higgins has spent quite a bit of money on this Jack. She coughed. Yeah, I helped her calculate it, at least for million. I took a deep breath. Take me to meet your Mrs. Higgins. What are you planning to do? She asked. Before I could answer, a woman's voice rang out behind us. Oh, so it's my fault. I think you'd have been hooking up for a while now, haven't you? Both Chloe and I stiffened. We recognized Mia's voice. The few other customers in the cafe looked over in surprise. I pretended not to hear and stood up. Let's go, I said to Chloe. She nodded, grabbed her bag, and followed me out. Mia wouldn't let it go. Chloe, how could you do this to me? I thought you were my best friend, and now you're secretly dating my boyfriend. Chloe stopped and turned to glare at her. Mia, don't try to play the victim. You know what you've done. I don't want to embarrass you in public if you keep talking nonsense. I'll send what I have to your parents. Mia, who had been acting so self-righteous, suddenly shut her mouth. I didn't even bother looking at her, walking straight out and getting into my car. Chloe joined me in the passenger seat. By the time Mia came out, we were already driving away. She immediately took out her phone and quickly messaged Jack. Ryan and Chloe are together. Chapter 7. My car hadn't gone far when Chloe's phone rang. She glanced at it, frowning. Jack, I blurted out. Mia must have told him you're with me. Chloe snorted. I haven't directly confronted him yet, but I'm truly disgusted by him now. I said, answer it. It's good to hear how he tries to weasel out of it. Chloe put the call on speaker. As soon as the call connected, Jack asked, Chloe, where are you? Chloe snorted again. Don't play dumb, did Mia tell you? Jack quickly said. Chloe. By the time Mia came out, we were already driving away. She immediately took out her phone and quickly messaged Jack. Ryan and Chloe are together. My car hadn't gone far when Chloe's phone rang. She glanced at it, frowning. Jack. I blurted out, Mia must have told him you're with me. Chloe snorted. I haven't directly confronted him yet, but I'm truly disgusted by him now. I said, answer it. It's good to hear how he tries to weasel out of it. Chloe put the call on speaker. As soon as the call connected, Jack asked, Chloe, where are you? Chloe snorted again. Don't play dumb. Didn't Mia tell you? Jack quickly said, Chloe, I've taken leave from work. Let's meet. It's hard to explain over the phone. Chloe replied, is there any point? Jack immediately started making excuses. I know you won't believe anything I say now. Hearing this, I reached over and pressed the record button on Chloe's phone. She gave me a knowing look. Jack continued, "It's Mia. She seduced me. Ryan must have shown you our chat logs, right? You must have seen them. She was the one actively pursuing me." What Jack said was actually true, but Chloe still retorted, "She pursued you and you took the bait. You're that cheap," Jack hurriedly said. "No, Chloe, listen to me. The first time we were both drunk. I don't remember anything. After that, Mia used it to threaten me. I had no choice." Chloe and I exchanged a knowing glance, both aware that Jack was making it up. We just listened silently as the phone continued to record. Jack continued to badmouth Mia, portraying her as worthless and despicable. He spared no effort to clear his own name, throwing every bit of dirt he could at her. Even though Chloe also hated Mia for betraying her and me, she couldn't stand it anymore. "Enough. I don't want to hear it anymore. Everything you've said boils down to blaming Mia and claiming you're completely innocent, right? Let me tell you, Jack, even if Mia is dirty and cheap, it's not up to a cheap dog like you to say it. Goodbye." I couldn't help but smile and said nothing. Chloe looked at me and asked, "Don't you have any comments?" I cleared my throat. "Oh yes. I think you summarized it perfectly. One is a bitch, the other is a dog. Overall, Jack is slightly worse." Chloe burst into laughter at my words. "You're still in the mood to joke?" I shrugged. "Come on, it's not my fault. It's theirs. Why should I punish myself for the mistakes of two scumbags?" Chloe nodded, slightly agreeing with me. "You're right. We should happily say goodbye to the past, kick the bitch to the curb, protect ourselves, and embrace our bright future." As she said this, she made a superhero pose with her fist, a cute gesture I'd only ever seen Mia do. I couldn't help but look at her a few more times. Chloe noticed my gaze and immediately reminded me, "Focus on driving. We're still young and we have plenty of youth left to enjoy." Chapter 8. I quickly drove to Mrs. Higgins's house, dressed flamboyantly, dripping in golden jewelry and wearing heavy makeup. She was watering flowers in her villa. Seeing Chloe and me arrive, she immediately and enthusiastically invited us in. Chloe wasted no time and directly placed her chat logs with Jack in front of Mrs. Higgins. Mrs. Higgins's expression changed drastically and she was speechless for a long while. After recovering, she hurriedly explained to Chloe, "Chloe, it's not what you think." Chloe didn't bother with her excuses, saying directly, "Why do all of you who do this kind of thing say the same thing?" I asked Mrs. Higgins, "Did Jack ever tell you about the risks of those financial products he convinced you to buy?" Mrs. Higgins shook her head, saying blankly, "No, he said it was a guaranteed profit." I continued, "If we ask you to report him to the police now, can you do it?" Mrs. Higgins's expression shifted. "How can I do that? I invested behind Mr. Higgins's back. If he finds out, what will I do? At this point, do you think you can still hide it?" I added. "We could have sent this record directly to your husband." Hearing this, Mrs. Higgins panicked. "Chloe, it was me who wronged you. Please don't tell Mr. Higgins. If he knows I'm finished." Chloe looked at me thoughtfully. She clearly didn't want to ruin Mrs. Higgins's family. I then said, "You just need to report it to the police. Chloe can accompany you when you give your statement or go to court. We can apply for a closed trial." Chloe agreed that my suggestion was appropriate and nodded. "This is the greatest leniency we can offer you." Mrs. Higgins was still hesitant. The sweat streaming down her face smudged her makeup, making her look both pathetic and ridiculous. But thinking about how she had messed up her own good life, she wasn't deserving of pity. I then said, "Call Jack first and ask him how much money is left in your financial products." Mrs. Higgins's heart stirred at these words. "You mean it's dropped?" I shook my head. "I don't know, so I'm asking you to ask him. If he says it's gone up, tell him you want to cash out and see if he lets you." Mrs. Higgins hurriedly took out her phone and called Jack. Chloe followed my lead, pressed the speakerphone and record buttons on Mrs. Higgins's phone. Mrs. Higgins then asked Jack, "What's the situation with my investments?" Jack said on the phone, "The market is booming right now. It's gone up quite a bit. I think you should take advantage of this opportunity and buy a few more." Mrs. Higgins said, "Well, Jack, I'm sorry. Something's come up at home and I urgently need the money. Can I cash out?" Jack quickly replied, "Cash out. If you cash out now, you might lose a lot of profit." Mrs. Higgins hurriedly said, "I put for a million with you. It has gone up a lot. Calculator for me. I don't want new profits. I just want my principal." Jack began to procrastinate. "Let me tell you, now really isn't a good time to exit the market." Hearing this, even if Mrs. Higgins was foolish, she understood. "Is the money gone?" After a moment of hesitation, Jack said, "To be honest, the market hasn't been doing very well recently, but don't worry." Chloe gave Mrs. Higgins a look and Mrs. Higgins understood. "Let's talk later. After hanging up the phone, I said to Mrs. Higgins, "Now you believe it. Jack has been lying to you from the beginning." Mrs. Higgins said, "Chloe, can you give me some time to think?" Chloe replied, "You have until this time tomorrow. If you don't contact me by then, I'll send it directly to Mr. Higgins." I glanced at the distraught Mrs. Higgins and couldn't help but shake my head. Chapter 9. Just as we were about to leave, I received a text message and froze. Chloe looked at me in surprise. "What's wrong?" I immediately said. $360,000 has been withdrawn from my card and from several different banks. I then remembered that although I had kicked Mia out, I still had a bank card with her. Chloe looked at me in surprise. "What's wrong?" I immediately said. $360,000 has been withdrawn from my card and from several different banks. Chloe seemed to understand. Mia took it. I nodded and immediately removed Mia from my blacklist and called her. She hung up immediately, refusing to answer. Chloe then showed me her phone. Jack just contacted Mia. I checked the time of their chat log. It was right after Chloe and I left Mrs. Higgins' house. Jack was asking Mia for a loan using almost the same spiel he used on Mrs. Higgins. He said the bank was having a promotion for a high-yield financial product. All the bank employees were buying it, but he didn't have enough money and wanted to borrow some from Mia. He promised to return the principal and interest, treating it as her investment, and if it lost money, he would bear the loss. I couldn't believe Mia withdrew the money from my card without a second thought. I called her a few more times, but she still didn't answer. I then called Jack. He answered but remained silent. I said directly, "Every penny Mia gave you was taken from me without my permission. If you dare to accept it, you'll be going to jail." Chloe then showed Mrs. Higgins the messages Jack sent me. "Look, didn't he use these same words to trick you?" I stood up and said, "I don't care how long you need to think about it, I'm going to the police. If you get dragged into this, it has nothing to do with me." Hearing this, Mrs. Higgins immediately stood up and said, "Then I'll go with you." Chloe and I exchanged glances and immediately took Mrs. Higgins to report the crime. After Mrs. Higgins and I explained the situation, the police immediately started an investigation. An officer called Mia, and this time she answered. After hearing what the officer said, she immediately retorted, "It's my own money, why can't I withdraw it?" The officer asked, "Your own money? Is the card registered under your id?" Mia then said, "It's the allowance my boyfriend gave me." The officer replied, "Your boyfriend is the one who reported the crime. He says you've already broken up. You'd better come to the police station to explain the situation." Mia didn't say anything, but I knew she wasn't brave enough to refuse. Soon Mia arrived by taxi. When she saw Chloe and me there, her face changed. The police immediately asked her about the whereabouts of the money which Mia retrieved from her bag. She hadn't had time to give it to Jack. The officer also asked her, "Don't you know that taking something without permission is theft?" Then the officer asked me, "Now that the money has been recovered, do you want to press charges?" I thought for a moment and said, "Forget it. It's my fault for not getting the card back after the breakup. It's fine as long as I have the money back." After we both signed the necessary documents, we left the police station, but Chloe stayed to accompany Mrs. Higgins, who was still waiting for her case to be processed. Mia, who had been timid at the police station, sneered at me as soon as we were outside. "Ryan, you really disgust me." I looked at her in surprise. Mia continued, "I was with you for a year. What's wrong with using a little of your money? I spent a whole year on you. What's $360,000? I frowned. "Who's going to compensate me for the time I wasted on you, and who were you planning to give that money to? Don't you have any shame?" "I didn't press charges. That's all the compensation you're getting for the past year, damn it." With that, I turned and walked away, unwilling to spend another second with her, leaving her to her impotent rage. Chapter 10. Later, Chloe told me that Jack had been taken from the bank to the police station for questioning. He was taken away in front of all his colleagues at the bank. His career completely ruined. Besides the incident with Mrs. Higgins, it turned out he had many similar cases under his belt. One thing led to another, and they all came to light. Not long after Jack's arrest, those who had bought financial products from him went to the bank to cause a scene. Eventually, several of Jack's cases were combined and tried together. Even after everything came out, Mia refused to believe it. She insisted that Chloe and I had conspired to frame Jack out of revenge. Chloe then sent me the recording of Jack berating her that day. From then on, Chloe and I stopped paying attention to the matter and went back to our own lives. We all occasionally met up for dinner or something. Over time, Chloe and I became close friends, even closer than before. But is there really such a thing as pure friendship between a man and a woman? We both had feelings for each other and knew that the other had a good impression of us at the very least. But neither of us had broken the ice. Chloe knew I had just broken up with Mia, and she wasn't sure what I was thinking. Although she had dated Jack in this day and age, a relationship where they barely held hands hardly counts. Later, I heard that Jack's case had been decided, but I couldn't be bothered to find out the result. Chloe also told me that Mia had left the city. My business was booming and I was already too busy to care where she went. Sometimes Chloe would visit me at my shop after work and bring me food. If my hands were full, she would even feed me. I didn't think much of it and just ate. But everyone around us sensed that our relationship was more than platonic. When Chloe wasn't around, people would ask, "Ryan, should I introduce you to a girlfriend?" I'd reply, "No, I don't have time for dating." They'd laugh and say, "You've got Chloe, so you don't need anyone else, right?" I just smiled, noncommittal. After the busy season, I finally had some free time. A friend gave me 2 movie tickets and Chloe was the first person I thought of. I called her and she said, "I was just about to call you. What a coincidence. A friend gave me 2 movie tickets and I wanted to ask you to go." I chuckled. "Mine is a foreign film called Burning Ambiguity." "What's yours?" she replied. "Mine is a domestic film called Speak Your Love Out Loud." After we shared the titles, there was a moment of silence. It felt like these 2 movies were made for us. We checked the showtimes and discovered they were back-to-back with only 15 minutes between them. I immediately said, "Perfect. Let's have dinner first, then watch both movies. No waste." That evening I went home, showered, changed into clean clothes and went to meet her. I arrived first and waited less than 10 minutes before I saw Chloe. She was wearing the same outfit she wore the first time Mia brought her to meet me. Back then, I was stunned by her beauty, but didn't dare to look too closely since I had a girlfriend. This time, I openly admired her. The greatest respect a man can show a woman is to appreciate her with his eyes. We chatted over dinner, talking about everything. To outsiders, we were clearly a couple, even though we hadn't officially acknowledged it. Although Chloe was generally proactive in both work and life, when it came to relationships, she was still a woman, and even if she wanted to take the lead, I wouldn't allow it. I had decided to make my move tonight, leaving no regrets. After the movie, I would confess my feelings to Chloe. I knew she was waiting for this moment too.